Okay, I
What's
marked out
going
when I heard HBK's theme come on. I'll admit that.
What's going on, you guys? It's Perry the Entertainer back again for another video. We're going to be reviewing last night's episode of Monday Night Raw that took place on August 25th, 2014. And of course, you guys know it by now. I can't do it by myself, so I have a panel here, and let's introduce them all. So we got Eddie, as always.
What's up, guys?
We have Angry Cooter. I got your name right, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, the pleasure is all yours.
And we got, is it AJ?
AJ Vinici Emery. What's up, guys? It's great to be here tonight.
All right. You guys have any social media that you guys want to plug before we get this thing started?
Hmm.
I forgot about it last week, so that's why we're reminding of it now.
All right, well, I'll chime in. You can follow my friend's podcast, another wrestling podcast, available on Stitcher and iTunes. And you can find me every Thursday night, 9 p.m. on Google Hangouts for Marked Up.
I got
All
no
right.
shameless plugs. Sorry. I'll come back next week.
AJ's got nothing.
No, I'll come back next week with something. See
All
what
right,
little I can get in until then.
I've got Thrill Terrain on Twitter. Don't follow me. I've got Thrill Terrain on YouTube. Don't subscribe. I've got the Variety Vendor. Check that out. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, and you guys obviously are checking this out on my channel, Perry the Entertainer, 565 subs, and you guys can follow me on Twitter for live tweeting during wrestling events at the PTE show, and yeah, let's get this thing going. Of course, we have to start off. What did you guys overall think of Raw tonight?
It was 4 out of 10.
All right, he Bret Harted that shit real good.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was better than the other Raws that happened. Like, it was better than last week's Raw, which was shit. It was better than the week before. As we move along, I'm going to, state more of my opinions on the show. But so far, I call it the turning point of Raw.
Okay.
It's a sad, sad show when the highlight of a 3-hour show is Jack Swagger and fucking Rusev. But I'm going to tell you, that was some entertainment shit, and that was in the first hour. After that, I could have completely turned the whole show off.
See, this is why WWE needs just to go back to 2-hour Raw. 3 hours is too stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
We had 3 standalone talking segments. Long, drawn-out bullshit. We had the Bellas, we had the Hall of Fame panel, and then there was something else that...
Seth Rollins' eulogy for Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, right. That was another piss break. Thanks, guys. I mean...
Anybody else want to chime in?
We'll get to our live thoughts on that in just a bit. But for let's kick this show off. Let's kick this review off with how Raw started off with, as you guys mentioned, the Legends panel. I guess you can call it a Legends because there was only 3 of them there.
Yes, and this time Ric Flair appeared sober.
Yeah, he was there sober. I think we should just give him a round of applause. He was there sober. Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and Shawn Michaels are there. They were talking about Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at the next pay-per-view. Basically,
Hogan was just there to kiss ass and take paychecks.
all 3 of them were there to kiss ass, but...
But let's be honest about Hogan.
In
He was
different
he was the most coherent out of all of them. He was the one who flubbed the least amount of shit. Flair looked like he had fucking marbles in his mouth, and Shawn Michaels was just a stuttering fool. Hogan carried that segment, and then Cena came in and dropped the worst promo of his year. Literally.
I love that. I'm not going to beat Lesnar. I'm going to beat his ass. What the fuck?
It's a porno now, guys.
Oh, yeah. Brazzers. I can see that now.
Night of Champions, the porno.
Brock Lesnar conquers John Cena.
Rock smash!
I like that. Lesnar cockers John Cena.
If you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Oh God. Well,
And
like
we have turned. Oh boy.
like we've already mentioned, John Cena ended up coming out and giving his own thoughts on what he's going to think of the match. As you said, he's going to beat Brock's ass.
Mm.
And I guess that led into the main event, which was going to be John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. But what did you guys overall thought of the opening of Raw?
I just got aside for HBK. That's about it.
I like how Cena stumbled and he was like, Hogan, look at me when I'm talking to you. It's like he's trying to act tough, but he don't know how.
He was trying to think it, because you know how he's like, oh, you know, Michael's my friend. I'm proud to call you my friend and mentor and all that stuff. And, you know, he's talking about how, you know, he's out with the Nate and everything. And then he's like, and then there's Hogan. Well,
I think he was basically telling Hogan not to don't kiss my ass. Just make me look worse.
You know, if it wasn't for Hogan, there'd be no John Cena. Took me a while, but that's my compliment towards you. But Angry Cooter, you've been silent over there. What do you think?
In terms of this segment, I think it's a waste of Hall of Fame talent. And the sad part about the whole thing is, it was a short segment, and it got replayed 3 or 4 times throughout the duration of Raw.
Yes, that's what I hear.
And they showed the same 30 seconds of that maybe 2-minute segment. It was fucking horrible. But like I said, I'm so used to Hogan flubbing and fucking up that I gotta say, I mean, he's putting the wrench time in, at least on the mic skills, because that was the best promo he's had in the last fucking 10 years.
Well, he wasn't that gay guy.
Wait, you could
Your
could say what you want about his
guys have
content. I'm talking in terms of his delivery.
Right. Well, I think that it was just unnecessary. If they really wanted a Hall of Fame panel somehow, they could have just replaced the commentators with those 3 guys and let them, you know, commentate throughout the show. Would have been way better than hearing fucking JBL be like, oh my god, the bull is twerking, or be like, oh, Jack Swagger, he
needs to leave America.
Yeah, he let down America. Most importantly, Michael, he let me down. Fuck you. And Lawler's always silent. I mean, I don't remember when was the last time I really heard him energized and be like, all, you know, hyper and shit.
Well, if he gets any hyper, he's gonna have another fucking heart attack. We can't have that.
Oh.
I know he's trying to take it easy with his heart, but I mean, look at Flair. Fucking hell, Flair is like older than Lawler by 2 years, I think. Even fucking Vince. You know, I don't think that. It's just that I think that his motivation is lost, completely lost. He doesn't care anymore. He's like, I'm just gonna be there and be another face. I'm just here to collect a paycheck. So yeah, that's my opinion. Just an unnecessary segment.
It could have been a very awesome segment, though. I mean, we could have had a continuation of this whole Brock and Hogan thing. I mean, especially after that whole TMZ thing. But you know what? You can say what you want. Let Brock Lesnar go in there and basically say, yeah, thanks for kissing my ass. And then just say, oh, and by the way, I'm going to F5 each and every one of them out of the fucking ring. That would have been hilarious. That's the way it should have gone down. And then let Cena come in and try to save him or something. I don't know.
But you know what would have been cool if Heyman came out and had an exchange with Flair and Michaels and Hogan.
Oh,
and
God. Where was he tonight?
I don't know.
Remember, everything's pre-recorded for Lesnar's appearances.
I think he's still recruiting porn stars or something.
Lesnar did a lot of backstage recording and everything. So he basically to make up because he's not gonna be there every week. So
I just want to see the bloopers for that.
Yep, and if you guys want to fight in champions, you first have to give Brock his paycheck.
Jesus. I'll tell you what, though, that was because obviously Brock Lesnar is way better taped than he is live.
Thank God.
Otherwise, we might get another Paul say something stupid comment. But that was probably his best taped, promo since he's been back. Maybe the second best. But even when he's taped, sometimes he's the drizzling shits. But I love how he seems to have to drop a couple of swear words and they have to beep him out every time. It's so awesome.
You know what? I would have loved it, and I'm imagining it right now if Lesnar was part of the Crusade in the first one night stand, and Heyman was the one talking to him instead of JBL. And he's like, the only reason you were in SmackDown for a year because you would have screwed up your lines on Mondays.
Jesus.
So,
Yeah, that would have got.
I don't know. It just came to
That would have been a massacre.
Yeah.
My question: do you guys think that this little panel from tonight, this little Legends thing, do you guys think this added any fuel to the Lesnar Cena storyline at all? Like, is this going to take off now?
No, it was meant to draw ratings. It was meant to draw viewers for the beginning of the show. That's all it was.
Well, I'd say a little.
Well, considering that it's fighting the enemies, it's understandable that they do something like that.
Should have been Piper's Pit.
I think that's a
I
pretty
want to see a
great
Piper
idea,
and
personally.
Ambrose segment. Just with those two on the mic. That's it.
Would be cool. Yeah.
You know, I didn't think too bad of it. I mean, it fit its purpose. Basically, is what I'm like. You guys were saying it already. You know, it's to draw ratings for the beginning of the show. Of course, to play it throughout the rest of the night. And that was about it. I mean, I didn't really think anything really of it. And Cena tried to do that little Bray Wyatt effect that he's trying to get that effect of, oh, I lost, but since I can cut a good promo, that I'm gonna try and make you guys forget that even happened. So.
No, they're gonna. Sorry, Cena. No matter what you do, they will not. There's only a few of us that respects John Cena no matter what, and there's our people who will hate him until he's dead in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that as a Cena fan.
Ugh.
Yep.
You're one of those, huh?
Yep, I'm one of those. Deal with it, buddy.
That's fine. Listen, gentlemen, I'm a hater, admittingly. Ugh.
I'm a fan.
Of course you are. I mean,
This
is
is
there
what I
something that you don't hate?
Well, his name is
yeah.
Angry Cooter.
You want to know what I don't hate?
Mm.
Eat, sleep, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat. I can go on all night. I will listen to that all day, every day. That made my summer.
I think you forgot like 12 of them.
I know, but you know what? I don't want to steal all your airtime, bro. I'm trying to be respectful here.
Mm.
If you want to throw 12 more in there, that's fine.
Hey, that's quite all right.
All right. Any last final thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
Nope.
That's it?
Paul Heyman is God.
Paul Heyman is God. I have not gotten to check out that DVD yet.
Mine's in the mail, believe it or
Has
not.
anybody here? You seen
I
the DVD?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I actually ordered the Blu-ray, and it's on its way. Should be
Yeah,
here
I saw
tomorrow.
the DVD. It was a pretty good backstory with the first opening 20 minutes of my client Brock Lesnar ended the streak.
Hmm.
See, thanks for ruining it for me, dick.
Thanks.
Sorry,
Thanks for the
spoiler
spoiler.
alert.
Thanks for the 20-minute spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert! Spoiler
Yeah.
alert!
He talks about ECW. What the fuck, man? You
God
spoiled it
damn
for me.
Oh, you was in
Yeah.
WCW?
You don't gotta tell me how it opens.
No.
I know, obviously. Come on now.
1,000 jokes of how Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Ugh.
He did commentary? What?
He's probably one of my favorite.
All right, let's
color
kick off
commentators.
Moving
the
on.
first match of the night.
I believe it was Swagger and
What was
Rusev.
that?
Yep.
Jack Swagger versus Rusev was the first match of the night. A rematch from SummerSlam. That wasn't a flag match this time, but they still ended up trying. They're still going to drag this feud on while having Swagger basically get what the ref threw the match out basically for him. So Rusev never got a clean win over Swagger again.
Yeah, I don't know
So
what's
they're
the
gonna
point
keep
of
dragging this
feud,
shit out.
Like, it's so one-sided.
Hmm.
And it's funny because people are saying like, "Oh, this feud's getting boring. It's getting stale now."
Hmm.
But the
Because
worry,
Zeb's not there.
yeah,
That's
but
the
you
only
know
reason
what?
why. Because Swagger can't hold himself.
He was holding himself very well tonight in the ring. That was probably some of his best in-ring work
I
since.
saw him do a
his match
jackknife
with Cena.
cover. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
hard for a man of his size.
He's a former NCAA champion, though. That's no really excuse.
Yeah, but still, it's rare to see him do something like that.
You know, are you guys still sold on the Jack Swagger Rusev feud? You guys, you know,
No, I'm over it.
I think
You're
it's
over it?
done. I think it's going to be one of those things
it's
where
so
they're going to
one-sided.
continue to feud on SmackDown, but on Raw, he's going to continue feuding with the Bo Dallas.
So where does Rusev go from here then?
Go back to beating up the brothers.
Yeah, he's going to be like, Rusev is going to be beating up jobbers every single week. He's probably going to feud with
The nation,
The,
the new nation.
No,
they
no,
had
no.
no mention. They had no mention whatsoever of the Mark Henry attack last week, though.
That's true, and you know, here's an interesting thought, because we're so used to when WWE builds up their monsters, it's just always squash matches. It's always, and now here we are, and they're putting him in a decent program. It's been a decent feud. I mean, Swagger and him with the storyline was great as it is, but the way that Rusev sells, especially when it's like, oh, you know, when people are stomping on his foot, he sells injuries. Like SummerSlam, he got
Oh, man, he's
caught in the
gonna
ankle
bring
pick.
story.
He sold that injury the next night on Raw. You never see that anymore. That guy is a smart worker. I like him.
I compare him to Umaga in many ways.
Uh,
Yeah, I wouldn't
He's
go that
built
far.
like
Well,
Umaga,
because
and I think,
his template
yeah.
on it.
guys, can I pose this question? Would Rusev losing at SummerSlam hurt him anyway?
Oh, no way. Absolutely not.
Right.
If
That's
Wait, what was the
anything,
question?
it would actually add to him because, okay, he lost one match. Now he gets to be more
lost,
pissed
still
off.
attack Zeb. That's
Yeah, he'll still find a way to get his heat back. You know, it's not like Bray Wyatt where he's losing every week.
You talk about what'd you say? Rusev's heat's not there anymore, or what?
No, I'm
No,
talking about
Rusev is-
Rusev can get his heat back. You know, it's not like Bray Wyatt where he's losing every week. Rusev can lose these big matches when it actually means something. You know.
If they're serious on building Rusev as a top superpower heel, like I've been trying to say for the last few months, they have to let him keep this streak going, and you know, maybe not let Cena beat him the first time, but
don't worry,
Cena's ultimately going to be the John Cena's going to ultimately be the one to break that streak.
No,
We all know.
Roman. I'm calling Roman.
Yeah, Roman. I agree.
I don't
they're
think Roman. I'm thinking
I think
Cena.
we have to have another USA versus Russia match, and there's only one guy who can end the streak.
Roman.
Kurt Angle.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Man,
Hurt ankles.
He's like, move over, Jack. Let me show you how to do a real ankle lock with a grapevine so you can't get to the rope. That's right.
yeah.
If
You
Kurt
watch.
Still had
Mark
his
my
good
words. You motherfuckers will be following me and being like, holy shit, that angry cooter. He's an asshole, but he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
I broke Rusev's streak.
I won't lie, I will mark out if I hear that theme song just hit in the middle of line cutting a promo.
Tell me that you wouldn't pop hard for that, though.
You suck.
You would pop like a motherfucker.
I will.
yeah.
I will pop. I will mark out.
Oh, to hear Kurt Angle's theme?
Oh, hell yeah.
Everyone would. I would hope so.
I
Only
used to
thing,
love
though, is I
his
don't know-
theme when he was in ECW. Like
I
that
don't
metal
get
Oh,
version.
yeah, when they cut out the whole part where it was the you suck part.
Yeah. Even though that was like
Only
part of
thing,
the
though,
fun,
that-
but it really made him look like, you know, a beast.
Oh, yeah.
Only thing, though, is I don't really know if he would be coming back to a wrestling role. It looks like he's been
You're
playing
neat.
too much of that, authority figure in TNA, so he might come back as some sort of, like,
Trainer.
speaker of the board or some stuff like that. I don't think he's going to come back as a
down
full-time
in NXT sometime in the near future.
He
could be a
can
GM
come back
on
as a
NXT.
trainer for NXT, but that doesn't mean a whole lot.
He could be a GM on NXT, or if they're ever going to bring back Tough Enough, he could be a trainer on that.
Well, I know that's supposed to be like next year on the network or something like that because they're filming it now or something like that.
And almost get his arm broken like he did with Daniel Puder.
Oh boy.
It's the reason he got fired, but
yeah. So what else
he had
happened?
a bad attitude backstage. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Who? Pewter?
Pewter had a bad attitude backstage.
Well,
He
the
tried
dude
to fight
had to, there were a lot of people that were trying to, murder him, like JBL and Hardcore Holly and Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. Like, they were one of those guys that was like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? Like,
I thought that was
bullies in the
Muhammad
same
Hassan.
brand. Imagine that.
It's worse than a Dolphins
So,
hazing. God damn it. Oof.
What'd you guys think about the match then?
It was a pretty good match. Pretty good powerhouse match. We need more of those.
It was the best match of the night. It was the best segment of the night. We could end the show right here on a high note.
Well, that's it. Well, that's it for tonight, guys.
We can't do that. But
Well, just when I thought that this feud would get, stale, I actually wouldn't mind seeing another match between these two. Because they always find a way to make it different. And this match was different, and actually I was enjoying it, and I was actually kind of into it to the point that I was like, Swagger might win this, when he had the ankle lock multiple times.
Yeah, there was a lot of counter moves in this match.
I think Swagger's just going to be delegated for the rest of his career to be that guy that gets stepped on, and he's the I'm going to build you up guy and make you look good. I'm going to school you for the next guy, I don't see him going anywhere. It's a shame because he's not a bad talent.
Of course, but he's in that group that where fans are cheering for him and wanting him to win, but WWE's going to keep on dangling him in front of our eyes, kind of like what they did with Ziggler for the past few months. I think they're still doing it with him now, but. Yeah.
But wait a minute, I gotta pose a question, guys. Is Swagger really over, or is it just the U.S. theme gimmick?
I think it's that and the We the People thing, and plus they hate Rusev, so all of that contributes. Because when he, we'll get to that later on.
I think Swagger is finally finding himself. I think he's starting to find, is that all American thing? I got to be honest, I wasn't digging it at all. Even when he was, Michael Cole's. Even when he was Michael Cole's kind of little bodyguard, I wasn't really into it. In fact, I'm actually known on here because I've been making videos on here for about 3-4 years now. I've actually been known to hate Jack Swagger.
What?
But now that this Patriot thing kind of coming in, I kind of turned over a new leaf for him.
Me too.
But at the same time, see, this is the same thing that I had with the Daniel Bryan suggestion. Is he really over? Or is it the yes chance? But I don't know. I mean, I think I'd have to wait a couple more weeks, at least to see.
The problem
and
is,
it looks like he's going to be hopping into some program with Bo Dallas now. So.
You see, the problem is that Swagger's been a heel so long that a lot of people are just used to him as a heel. With Daniel Bryan, it's different. I don't think it's the yes chant because he was over before that.
Yeah,
remember his matches with Ziggler and
chant for Daniel.
Yeah, like Bryan, like his matches with Ziggler, his matches with Sheamus before that,
with the Shield,
before the yes chant, and before he turned heel, a lot of people were into him. And as for Swagger, I agree. Yeah, it's the USA chant, it's the Patriot. It's always going to be an over gimmick. Whoever puts on that gimmick. If Great Khali comes out and it's like USA, everybody's going to cheer him.
Oh. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. So, I don't mind Swagger if he's gonna be pushed, but I just want him to be pushed in a way that it's like, okay, I believe that, not push him one week and then the next week you're gonna bury him, because
Like they do with Ziggler.
yeah, exactly. I mean, like, what's the point of putting him on Raw if like nobody cares about him? Just relegate him to superstars.
That reminds me of what they used to do with Kofi. He would win one match on one day, then he's jobbing on main event the next day.
Yep.
Alright. So you guys don't see this program continuing, or
No.
continuing successfully, I should say?
Well, no,
Rusev is going to continue with Henry next week. You know, yeah.
They didn't even mention it this week. That's why I'm doubting that that's even going to happen.
Because they wanted to do it with, they want to keep Henry and Big Show with the Wyatts. Because last week it was kind of, you know, planting the seeds. It wasn't like, okay, you're going to be in a program right away. You know?
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else we got to say? Because we got to move on.
Nope.
yes, we didn't get to hear a promo
Get it?
from Lana tonight. Interestingly
All right.
enough.
We're not going to. We kind of have to talk about the next match because it is kind of important. We have Rob Van Dam versus Cesaro, #1 contenders match for the United States Championship, currently held by Sheamus, a title that nobody cares about, but it looks like they're trying to bring some sort of prestige back. Cesaro winning a pretty quick and fashionable match against Rob Van Dam, and now Cesaro versus Sheamus for the U.S. title is sometime in the future. What do you guys think?
Oh,
How many times did they have? Did they wrestle each other?
I was
this
about
year?
to say that. Like 4,822?
Probably, yeah. It's probably a number that's not even in the fucking calculator. Like, even when you put it down, it's gonna be like error. It's like I'm really tired of seeing Cesaro versus Van Dam. I don't care if it's a #1 contenders match. Just do it on something else, like in a house show, and then tell us the results. Or put Cesaro against somebody else. I don't care. I don't care about Van Dam. I don't care about Cesaro anymore. I want to see Cesaro be pushed to the main event, but if WWE's not going to care about him, I don't care about him anymore. Fuck it.
I never really liked Cesaro as a personality, but I always respected him as being a great competitor.
I often wish that Sheamus was just have one of those long nagging injuries so I don't have to see his big ginger ass on fucking TV anymore.
Ass.
That's how I feel about him. I can't stand him. He's boring. He beats his chest. He does a bro kick. He's another guy. He's like another 3-move wonder. It's like, enough of him.
Actually, it's debatable because I have seen some good wrestling matches with Sheamus.
He's great when he works as a heel. As a face, I just want to run him over with my truck. It's the most boringest television ever. When he works as a heel and he's like a chicken shit as that big guy like he used to do back in the day.
With Nexus.
Yes, exactly.
He was the bully,
That was the funniest. He was just talking trash to Evan Bourne.
It's like they pulled that gimmick and they ripped it off of him and they put it on that fucking worthless pile of shit Ryback who does the exact same thing. And it's like you had it working on him. You have to make the big red fucking jabroni, a face all of a sudden. And for what? He doesn't get over. Nobody cares about him.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody here really interested when Sheamus gets on TV? Or do you do what I do and you get up, you go to the bathroom, and you take a leak and you grab yourself a fresh beer from the fucking refrigerator?
I ain't gonna lie.
What I do.
This is the
I just simply change the channel. It's a lot
I just
easier.
put it to
It's more
mute
efficient.
because I can't stand hearing him talk. I just put it to mute, listen to music while watching.
There it is.
Yeah.
Overwhelming
Yeah,
majority.
depends on who his opponent is.
And it doesn't matter because you're just going to squash Cesaro with a bro kick. And Cesaro's the guy who's everybody wants to see this guy ever since WrestleMania. You had him
Right.
body slam the Big Show out of the ring. And let's face it, we all know he's just going to get squashed at Night of Champions because, you know, Sheamus is Triple H's training partner.
He's part of the
Up
what
there
you
with the
call
Wyatts with the pet project.
That's right. He's you know, making buddy with the right people.
I've heard rumors that
I'm not totally hung up on that.
I've heard rumors though
kind
that
of weird because Cesaro and Big E are like John Cena's best buds, or so I've heard. But they're not getting anything.
And Roman.
Yeah. Well, Roman is getting something. He's getting pushed to the moon right now.
Don't forget
But
Roman.
Big E, Cesaro. Yeah. But Big E and Cesaro aren't getting anything. They're just like Cena's like, oh, just carry my bags. I don't know. I can't politic. I'm sorry. You know.
What happened to Big E? He used to be the Intercontinental Champion, then he lost, then he was never heard from again.
He's still doing the New Nation thing. It's not scrap, guys. They're still doing it on the house shows.
Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
The modern day Clarence Mason, whoop-de-fucking-do.
Yeah.
Fuck him too.
The modern day Teddy Long, because with the fucking suit.
And the glasses.
Right.
Yep.
Same difference.
Mm-hmm.
Close
And
enough.
you know, I think that they wanted to wait with this New Nation thing, because if they bring him in, where are they gonna put him in the pay-per-view? They're just gonna be scrapped. So I think they've got an idea for them, like later on.
Man, this New Nation would work so much better if it wasn't just so PG.
That's true too.
I don't know. I don't think so, because Lana is pretty much maybe the third biggest heel in the company. And she's very anti-America. Like, the stuff that she gets away with
Yes.
is just, you know. So I think that with the New Nation, they can imply racism, but they are not going to point it out and be like, oh, WWE's racist. They're just going to imply it, you know.
I love the brother man stomp out the other man.
See, I think they're going to hold back on this for a while just because it almost seems like shows are very faction heavy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a while, you know, when you still had the Shield, you had the Wyatts, you had the, you know, not the corporation, but whatever the fuck they're called nowadays. It's all the same shit. But it's like, how many different factions can we have? It's like WCW back in the day with red and black, and then, you know, the black and white, and Raven's Flock, and then there's this guy. It's like, enough. How many factions can we have at one time? It was like a great idea.
Right. But I don't think it's going to be a faction, though. I think Xavier Woods is going to be a manager, and those guys are going to be a tag team. So Woods is going to be the manager who bumps around like Bobby Heenan back in the 70s, and you know, that would be it. Even though that I think that's a travesty because he's a great wrestler. Yeah. So if it's going to be a faction, they might as well break up the Wyatt family because Luke is getting over right now.
I think Luke, his character and the way he does his moveset, I think he could possibly outlast Bray.
Definitely, yeah.
Looking.
True, but you know, do you keep him as that same character? And you know, he's that follower. You know, what kind of
his manager?
I would make him his own.
That's a complete opposite. You have to do. You have him right there in a tag team with a leader. Right. What do you do as a minor adjustment to get him over as a singles guy by himself?
But here's the thing, dude. The thing is with Luke, he can easily be swayed because Bray Wyatt has, you know, quote unquote, brainwashed him. So with Paul, he can be like that guy, be like that would brainwash him as well. Or if you're gonna turn him face. I had this idea where he would turn against Bray. He would look at the fans, and then he would turn against Bray, and he'd be like, yes, the fans made me do it, you know? He'd be following the fans' lead, you know?
Oh my God! I think
I
I'm gonna
couldn't
throw
believe
up in my
that
mouth.
promo.
That would not work. That would work.
No.
That
It
would
would.
probably be
It
something that
would.
WWE would.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Eddie.
All right.
That'd be the shittiest way to break up the Wyatt family I've ever heard.
I just threw up in my mouth.
I mean, is there a different way though? I mean, are you gonna break them up straight up and be
Here's
like,
the thought.
oh,
There's only one way you do it. You basically give Harper a run, where he just starts winning singles matches, and you have Bray Wyatt get jealous because he's on a downslide, and then you have him kind of like what they did with Randy Orton in the
Legacy.
yes, and
But
it's
with
like
Bray,
the leader
I don't
gets
see
jealous,
him being
and then you have-
jealous though. With Bray, I don't see him being jealous though.
Yes, you do see him
Yes,
being
I can
jealous
see. I
because
can see
he's
that.
the boss. The boss gets jealous when the underlings are doing better than he is. That's the whole point. That's the only way you get him out of the Wyatt family. Keep
2004.
his character and get him away from them. It's the only way.
And would you keep Rowan, with Bray?
It would work either way. He either follows him out, or he stays with Bray and continues to suck the teat, so to speak.
Be nurtured the bosom.
Whatever. The teat, the bosom, the breastises, whatever your phrase is.
Let's get back on the.
I can imagine that.
Get back on the topic here. Sheamus and Cesaro in the future. Somehow we were talking about the Wyatt family.
Yeah, how did we fucking?
How did we get to the
I
Wyatt
have
family?
no idea.
Because we were talking
I
about
just stood quiet because I was like, I didn't know what the hell's going on.
Back out.
So, this is in the future. It looks like it's going to be for Night of Champions. Anything of it, just is more buried for Cesaro. He did get a win at SummerSlam, so you think that,
if he wins, I
WWE
still
could be
won't.
trying to get back behind him?
No, I think it's just WWE dangling him in front of her eyes again.
Wait a minute. What? If he wins, what will that do?
Nothing.
Exactly.
It's like, here, take a star sticker, go. That's what the U.S. title is now. It's basically a sticker. It's not a championship anymore.
It's funny because the last good champion was Zack Ryder.
Oh, God.
Yeah, with Zack it had more prestige than it does with Sheamus. Sad to say.
Zack was a better champion than Dean. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he held the title for like a minute. So
Internet champion. Oh yes.
Garbage.
And the
and
fans
fuck Ryder, man. Fuck him.
Absolute garbage is what that was. Using the internet
I
to
don't
get
even know how he got over.
Really?
He sucks in the ring. He sucks on the mic. His gimmick is fucking Jersey Shore shitty ass ripoff.
Disagree.
I don't know.
But you know what? We talked about this on my show the exact same way. They are given these shitty gimmicks, and somehow it's your job to get these gimmicks over. You can love Zack Ryder, you can hate him, but let's face it, he was given a shitty gimmick.
And he made it.
He got himself over and went against the grain. Let's face it, if it wasn't for Zack Ryder, WWE would not be involved in social media the way they are right now.
True, with the Long Island True Ice
He
Storm.
innovated WWE for them, and he gets no credit for it, unfortunately. Because
I don't
before
think
Zack Ryder, I
It
mean,
was
let's face it,
reality,
Vince was so anti-social media.
I don't think it was really Zack Ryder. I think it was more so the fans adapting to Zack Ryder.
Yeah,
Zack
and
Ryder
didn't
was doing-
Punk
he was-
actually innovate that? Because when he did the pipe bomb thing, then social media was like on a buzz.
Now I gotta give it to Ryder because he was doing the Long Island through whatever he was doing on YouTube way before Punk dropped that pipe bomb, I believe.
It was way before the pipe bomb, my friend. Believe me, the Long
Yeah.
Island, the True Island, whatever the fuck it was, stories. He had been doing that for probably a couple of months before CM Punk really.
Yeah, before the pipe bomb, but the
way before the pipe bomb.
but the Ryder thing didn't get its, it wasn't noticed until then,
That was the thing. He was gradually getting his steam. It's not like he blew up overnight, and that's what's so impressive about it was he started with nothing and just kept growing and growing and growing. It wasn't like he just exploded. He earned every follower, every click on YouTube.
Yes.
He earned it all himself. WWE gave him nothing. He did it all himself, and that's just the long and short of it.
He got over in spite of him.
Because the thing is, with 2011, it was just like the shoot era. Because at that time, anything that has the word shoot on the video, everybody's going to watch it. So when Ryder was like, oh, they're burying me or whatever, he's doing those cliche things, then, people are like, oh, yeah, this guy's being held down, even though that he's not worth shit. I think Kurt Hawkins was the better wrestler of the tag team.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Yeah. So, fuck Ryder. Moving on. What were we talking about? Cesaro. Yeah.
Cesaro and Sheamus for the third time now.
Can we go to the next?
Yeah, are you guys not understanding that this match is so boring that we don't want to talk about it?
Yes, can we move along?
Yeah.
Please, sir.
How horrible the U.S. title's being pushed right now. Want to give two quick shout-outs to the Great Wrestling Ranger and What Pisses Me Off 710 for checking out the live stream tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Call your friends.
Let's move on to the next relevant part of the night, which was the continuation or the evolution of the Paige and AJ Lee feud.
Oh, yes.
HLA.
Italian Paige fought for a third time. Paige ended up getting the one with her page turner. AJ Lee comes out, and let's just say things got very erotic, to say the least.
HLA.
Almost too erotic.
Almost TV-14. Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Oh, you little sissy. She kissed her fucking hand. Stop it.
Yo, I was reading a tweet during that match, and they said, if this feud lived in the PG or in the Attitude Era, AJ and Paige would have fought in a bra and panties match already.
Oh, yeah. They would have had a bra and panties match, a pillow fight, a loser goes down on the winner fucking match. It would have been great. Those were the days. And we would have had Jerry Lawler in the background. Puppies! Puppies!
You got him with his binoculars.
You spilled my Vaseline, JR.
His eyes bugging out of his head.
Speaking of puppies, shameless plug, another wrestling podcast. This week's guest, Deborah McMichaels.
You guys can go check that out in the description as well. I'm sure you'll give me a link to put that in the description over there, right?
I've had some mighty dreams about them tatas.
Oh, yes.
So, what did you guys think about the the evolution of this feud? Did you guys, what did you think, basically?
It's like, okay.
Like, what was your first reaction when Paige just kind of hug her? Or AJ kind of hug her?
AJ hugged Paige.
And then kissed her hand.
Yes, this was like slow. Paige was like, okay, what are you doing? Get off me. She did not want to take AJ's hand. She's just looking at AJ like, are you trying to give me meth or something? It was a confused look.
I found it pretty bullshit, though, that the internet wrestling community, and I don't know why I'm even mentioning this is just pointless, but there actually are arguments about AJ being better than Paige because she skips better.
Speaking of internet wrestling communities, okay, a shameless plug, I finally got one. Everybody can go on Facebook and join my page, Elite Click. We have actual discussions and none of that BS trolling.
I love trolling. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, man, I can't stand it.
Wow, there's something that you love.
Yeah, because I get to be an angry asshole.
Well, if we're all throwing plugs around here, you guys can go join my group, The Nation. You guys can go plug anything and anything you want. Talk about anything. Basically, this is exactly what that entire match was.
Plugging?
A piss break, basically.
Yes.
Except
they have to drag this out as long as possible, though, don't you think? I mean, look at the state of the Divas division. Besides Natty Neidhart, who the hell else can carry a match with either of these two? I mean, Emma's not bad.
Maybe Naomi.
Come on, Naomi. What does she do? Smack somebody with her big ass cheeks? Stop it.
Ooh, yeah, man.
Work. She can't work, dude. I'm talking about somebody who can
Angry,
actually
I'll try
have
to like you.
a competitive, technical wrestling match besides AJ and Paige.
Angry, I'm starting to
They
like
can bring
you.
Charlotte up.
Comment.
They could bring Flair's daughter up.
I haven't seen her yet. You know, I just subscribed at SummerSlam. All right? I finally had to break down and go against the grain because I do want to see some of these people in NXT. I heard this Charlotte chick is pretty good, but she's not on the main roster right now. So you got maybe 3 people, maybe 4 who can actually have a match. It's almost like the Divas are split in half. You have 2 matches a week, and it's usually one who can have a match, and the other 2 are just, you know, the bimbos from the Divas show who can't have a match.
What they should do is bring back jobbers. They should bring back jobbers, let Paige go over a jobber, and then you could do the same thing with AJ after on. You don't need to have them face established wrestlers 15 to 16 times a week. Just bring back the jobbers, and that's it.
Do they need to bring back, like, a legend to really...
Brooklyn Brawler.
No, I'm talking about Divas.
Hey, that was a man.
I mean,
Trish? Like a
the
Trish
ta-
or a Lita?
or a Trish or a Lita or a Beth Phoenix, somebody who...
Molly Holly?
Hey, whatever it needs to be. Somebody who was relevant, somebody who can help get this girls over because, let's face it, they're victims of a really talentless pool right now, and it fucking pisses me off because AJ can go, Paige can go, and when this is over, we're going to get stuck with, like, Summer Rae and fucking...
Brie Bella.
Oh, God, please, I hope not.
Hey, wait a minute. That's the good Bella.
Yeah, I don't care which
No,
one.
she
Bella's
can't.
the good one. I hope John Cena F5's won, and I hope, you know, fucking Daniel Bryan pulls a Chris Benoit and makes the other one tap.
Oh, that's horrible. Not a much.
Vince McMahon is calling up on this podcast.
Yeah, right. Come
I
see
used to call
me.
this review a shoot. So, that's what you get when you go
This match was basically just a way to build feud to their match coming at Night Champions.
And if you sneezed, you missed it, because it was really, really short.
Yes, and it ended with Natty, after the match, Natty just hit Paige with a discus clothesline.
Which I thought was Luke Harper's finisher.
He was doing it actually before Luke even came to the main roster.
Oh,
Yeah, but nobody watches Natalia's matches, so that doesn't matter. I believe that if somebody does the page turner, anybody would be like, "Oh, that's a cool move."
Natty's one of the best divas in the business right now, at least when it comes to wrestling. And
yeah, but her character is so boring. I love her, but
Dude, the thing is, I love it when some of the guys in the IWC would be like, "Oh, Natalia's the best in the world," and whenever she wrestles, they would change the channel or something. How the fuck do you know that she's the best when you don't even watch her matches?
Well,
That's what bothers me.
To go back to Cooter's point, though, when you said I think you should bring back like a legend or like some sort of notable figure in the Divas division. I think they did that, or at least they seem like they could have tried to do it with Gail Kim a couple years ago, and then she just went to the shitter.
Yeah, she eliminated herself from that Battle Royal because she was just getting pissed at the direction the Divas was going into at the time.
I think right now, if you wanted that one person to be able to do it, then Gail was the girl, and of course if she couldn't do anything, or WWE couldn't do anything with her character, then there was no real point in keeping her. Then and now she's down in TNA. She's the Knockouts champion down there. Probably best knockout in the business right now.
And you're probably the only one in the room right now who fucking knows that. Before we even went live on the air, I had to ask these guys who the fuck the TNA champion was. And the Divas champion? Oh my god. Black Tista.
That's what I call him. That's what it basically is.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley. I think Samoa Joe's the X Division champion down there.
They still have that? Wow.
You
Yeah.
haven't watched TNA
There's
in a
only
while,
like
right?
five of them in the division.
Listen, why would I watch TNA? That's like masturbating with sandpaper.
Come on, that's not that
guy-
bad.
That's like
Hashtag
wiping your
masturbating.
ass with a barbed wire laced roll of TP.
You know, I'd agree with you if it was like 3 months ago, but it actually got better.
Yeah, love.
Yeah, these Manhattan
Dude,
tapings have been a lot better.
It's like too little, too late. It's like it's basically like jerking off and finishing yourself off, and then the hottest chick in the world walks in the room, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, too late." That's what it is at this point.
Oh,
TNA
man,
is done. It needs to go away.
Okay, like after you're done masturbating, what if like Deborah came in, like in her prime, not now, because now I don't know what she looks like, but in her prime, like she'd enter your room. Would you not fuck her?
This is what I would do. Back in
On
those
top of
days,
fucking Viagra.
no. Listen to me. I would say this. I would say, sweetheart, hand me my Newports, because at the time I was a smoker. I would light one up. I'd say, I'm sorry you're a little late. Go downstairs and make me a sandwich.
I call bullshit. I call bullshit for that, man.
And then when I was done eating my sandwich, if I was in the mood and re-energized, yeah, maybe. But the point is, she would have to wait and regain my interest. Is exactly where I'm going with this. TNA has to make some drastic, serious changes to regain my interest. Because I was back in the day, I would mark out for them. They had that six-sided ring that was pretty cool. I was a big fan of Christopher Daniels, Jeff Hardy's first run. I loved it when they had Raven down there. I'm going back way back in the day. One of my favorite matches of all time is AMW versus Triple X in that six-sided of steel match.
Ooh, that reminds me
Listen,
when
I'm name dropping TNA. Yeah, I'm not a stupid mark. Exactly. But what have you done for me lately besides give me Hogan and Bischoff? And you fuck it all up, and now I have Black Tista as your champion. You tried to copy Daniel Bryan with this Eric Young bullshit. Anybody who had any relevance in that company is gone. AJ Styles. The list goes on. It's just, you're done.
There are still
Alright.
merits, though. Like, I think that if you give it a chance, like this coming Impact, if you'd watch it, I think you'd change your mind.
Bully Ray is leaving.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bully
Do you care about Bully Ray?
He's leaving.
Does anybody care about Bully Ray?
I
Which
care
I don't
about
really understand. Isn't he going into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
that's the funny part.
So what the hell's going on there then?
And he's supposed to be in like the best of 5 series or something like that.
Yeah, and he's gone.
Yeah. And you hear Davey Richards or something like blew out his knee or something?
Come on,
Yeah.
guys. You know TNA tapes like 2 months
In
show.
advance, yeah.
That's true. They might have it in the can. But I'm telling you right now, besides, who's Davey Richards' partner there?
Eddie Edwards.
That's my dude right there. I love Eddie Edwards. But Eddie Edwards is not a big enough reason for me to watch fucking TNA. For what, 5 minutes that he probably gets 5 minutes worth of airtime? Because their matches aren't even all that long either. They're just as bad as WWE for that shit.
For one person.
Right. And the thing is, though, with the Wolves, they really have, limited them. Because in Ring of Honor, they were really, really stiff.
Oh,
But
yeah.
in TNA, they're very limited. Like, you can see that TNA guys, like, right before the Wolves would come out, they'd be like, okay, don't be too stiff. Be extra safe tonight, And you'd see them in, like, 5% of what they are in Ring of Honor.
The Wolves may hurt themselves. I remember the Young Bucks came to TNA and they were just doing the most craziest spots.
Mm.
I was
The
like,
Wolves
okay.
are nuts. I was at that pay-per-view where it was Daniel Bryan and Nigel McGuinness' last match. The American Wolves are in a ladder war with Kevin Steen and Generico.
Right.
And Eddie Edwards wrestled that match with a broken elbow. He was in a cast.
Mm.
That man is an animal.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
that's
like, he's like one of the I would say one of the 5 legit guys in the world right now when it comes to wrestling. Because there aren't many nowadays.
You mean legit tough guys?
Legit, legit
Legit.
tough guys. Like,
Okay.
if you would see him in a bar, he would kick your ass, like, totally legit.
And he's a small guy too, and it's crazy. But to wrestle
I even
the
get
ladder
Daniel
match,
Bryan then.
serious spots.
Mm.
I mean, with a broken elbow in a cast. I think they were in Boston the night before he did it, and he still came to Manhattan Center and did that show. I was in awe. It was amazing.
Right.
All right, let's get back on this Raw review train.
Next segment.
Oh, yeah.
We are
Raw.
horrible with keeping on
Amazing.
topic.
Yeah, we're still at Paige and AJ for some reason. Next segment.
Yeah.
No, I think we're pretty much finished on that. I was talking about Gail Kim, and that's how we dwelled into the TNA thing.
Yeah. AJ kissed Paige and made her pregnant. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, obviously trying to set up some sort of Tori Wilson, Dawn Marie shit, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard they were doing that in house shows with Layla and Summer Rae. Like, they were
Oh
making
yeah,
out.
they were. I got pics.
Yeah, so...
Oh, send me one. My girlfriend's mad at me.
Oh wait. I'm looking at my
All right.
phone right now.
Any last thoughts on Paige and AJ before we move on to
I don't
probably
care
Cougar's
about the
favorite
fucking
part of the
feud.
night? What's that?
I don't care about the fucking feud.
All right. Not excited for Night of Champions for their match?
I am for the match, yes, because these are 2 girls who can work.
Yeah,
Same.
they can work, but WWE won't let them. That's
Ooh,
the
new
problem.
Dean Ambrose hoodie. Oh, awesome.
SummerSlam. Pretty damn
Was
good
what?
match there, but let's
Yeah,
move
they
on to
had
the
a
next-
good match, but are they going to really have another good straight-up match? No gimmicks?
Yeah,
Yep.
probably.
I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Let's dive into the next part of the night. Cooter, you already kind of teased us into it. It's the eulogy for Dean Ambrose. So apparently in storyline, Dean Ambrose is dead.
Apparently,
Seth
yes.
Rollins curb stomped him into cinder blocks, and I don't know how the hell those got there. I didn't get to make my Raw review last week, so I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Can't use his demonic powers.
Yeah, I
And
guess
it's like, don't mind
got this
me.
from
These
his
are
asshole or
just,
something.
play bricks.
Ugh.
He shot cinder blocks from his asshole or something, and
Oh, God.
Yeah, all the fans who were calling him.
Rollins did that shit. So I guess basically they would use this segment to kind of spotlight Seth Rollins' quote unquote mic skills. I use quote unquote because kind of awkward
This was
tonight.
just a bad night for him. This was a bad... It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. It was average.
Rollins basically saying how he was the leader of the Shield, and of course that made Roman Reigns come out. Roman Reigns came out and basically fucked both of them up.
Ugh.
And
I called it.
yeah, before Reigns could spear him, Kane pulled him out of the ring, setting up a handicap match between Roman Reigns, Kane, and Seth Rollins. So, what did you guys think about the eulogy, the remembrance of
I think that was
Lunatic Fringe?
disrespectful by Roman Reigns to interrupt such a classy eulogy. They were trying to pay their final respects to Dean Ambrose.
Mm.
Oh, God.
Sorry, guys, I'm in heel
Reigns.
mode right now.
Oh, you know what? I was going to save this line for my show, but no. Roman Reigns in his little black and blue fucking outfit looks like a retarded Samoan Sub-Zero. Okay? He has 3 moves. Ugh, can we just, we know you're The Rock's cousin or whatever the fuck, and, you kiss John Cena's ass, but can you do something more than a shitty spear, a retarded Superman punch, and that stupid fucking kick from outside the ring? He doesn't do anything. He can't talk.
Give him some time, and he will improve. Trust me.
Let me
It's
explain
not.
something.
It's not the
Why
matches
is
that
the
I have a
best
problem
guy
with.
in the Shield being Dean Ambrose?
I believe that.
He's the best talker, wrestler, everything, and he seems to be getting the bottom of the barrel right now. Seth Rollins is a great worker, but he can't talk.
I think what
Roman
WWE
Reigns is a
realized,
great look, but he can't do anything.
I think what WWE
Reigns
realized is that
wrestles, though.
they
That's the
said
problem. He can wrestle. Remember back in FCW when he was fucking Lakai or something like that?
Leaki.
Yeah, Leaki. Yeah, he used to be a good wrestler, but the thing is, I think
His
WWE
character
told
now.
him, like, you need to use these moves, and that's it, you know? But it's not the wrestling that I have a problem with. It's his fucking gimmick, his look, his mic skills, his mannerisms. He doesn't carry himself well, but, his moves are okay, I think. But it's just that, you look at Goldberg. He had 2 or 3 moves.
And he
He
still
would
got
kick
over.
him and jackhammer. But Reigns, he can, if he can carry himself, if he can have a better catchphrase than fucking believe that. I hate that. I just want him to be taken off TV. I was hoping that Randy Orton would punt him in the head and, take some acting classes or something and then come back in 6 months and be better than ever. So, but for once, I'm actually interested in a Roman Reigns match. For once. Because, like, before, I didn't care about Orton facing Reigns, even though the match was great. I didn't care about the storyline. I didn't care about Roman Reigns going after Triple H or the Shield going after going after Evolution. I didn't care about them going after Kane and the New Age Outlaws. But now, for once, I actually care about a Roman Reigns storyline. So, yeah, the segment was good. Rollins is like the new Randy Orton now because his mic skills suck. It's like Randy Orton. It's like monotone and slow and to the point that I'm like, just get to the point, But and Kane, fucking Kane, just retire, man. Retire. I know you like him, Zach, but Kane should retire. I'm sick of him.
Hell no.
I can't believe you just compared Roman Reigns to Bill Goldberg.
Here we go.
Dude,
No. No.
like that's how they're building him, like
I
Goldberg.
understand what you're getting at, Eddie.
No, see, yeah. Here's the difference. Goldberg didn't talk.
Goldberg could
Goldberg
carry
can't-
himself though. He
That's
could
the thing.
carry himself.
They built him differently, and that's why.
That's what I'm
very
saying
different.
though. That if you're gonna build him like Goldberg, build him correctly like Goldberg.
Well,
But
Goldberg was
it's
built
the wrong
with
guy.
squash matches.
Yeah, that's what
Boring.
I'm saying. That's
Exactly.
what I'm saying.
You can't get away with that today. Back in the days, Goldberg came in, he did his 2 moves,
And
he
buried the
walked
whole
away.
roster.
And you're like, what the fuck is up with this guy? And then when you would try to get an interview with him, he wouldn't say anything and walk away. And he did
And
that for
that's
months
how Reigns
and
could
months
do.
and months. Exactly. But now you're trying to make him talk. You're trying to actually have him carry a match. Dude, he couldn't carry my bags to the airport. Okay? Let's be
Exactly.
honest.
You know what?
Let's be honest.
And
Can you imagine somebody who can actually work a match? Let's talk about CM Punk. Let's talk about Shawn Michaels. They could make anybody look good, right?
Daniel
Can
Bryan.
you actually, Daniel Bryan, can you actually imagine them having a match with this big Samoan Sub-Zero and actually making it look good and being a 5-star or whatever match? No. Nobody
Reigns
can
is
make
a
this guy look
utility,
good.
though. Reigns is a utility. Punk had a match with Reigns. Remember that? He had a match with Reigns, and it was good.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
good.
It
must
was.
have been drunk, or you must have just finished jerking off, because that match was the drizzling shit. And that's one of the reasons why Punk left, because he hated how he was being booked, and he was being booked with this idiot who didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
The thing is, though, it's all in WWE. It wasn't on Reigns, though, because they're putting him in the spot that he is now. They're trying to build him too soon. That's the problem. And when you do that, it's gonna blow back in your face. And if you're gonna build him up as Goldberg, build him correctly like Goldberg. Let him squash people. You can get away with that nowadays. I don't agree that you can't get away with it because people want to see this guy kill people. But when you're going to let him have 20-minute matches or 15-minute matches, then you're going to show his flaws. And that's a big mistake for you to do.
Um,
That's exactly
I'll
what
tell
happened.
you why you can't get away with it. You can't get away with it because if you have a squash match with him, instead of giving him 10, 15 minutes, that means that it's another segment with more and more talking that's going to bore the shit out of people. It's TV now and TV then are two different things. It's because of the rating. It's because of merchandise and all this stuff. If you just do squashes, you have to fill that time with something else. And you don't want to bore the shit out of people. Either way, you're being bored, especially during a Roman Reigns match, but that's just my opinion. Superman punch, boo!
They could, you know, the segments that you're talking about, you know, if they're going to make it like Roman Reigns matches short, they could put it like those valuable minutes, they could put it in like a Dolph Ziggler match or like a Luke Harper match, or
yes,
you know,
could,
any
they
guy.
Won't. That's the point. They won't. You're gonna focus on the guys that they want to push.
Exactly. So you know, I don't know. I don't agree with Reigns, and I swear to God, if this happens, then I'm gonna be completely pissed off. I'm not gonna swear that I'm not gonna watch wrestling ever again. I am, but I'm probably gonna boycott WWE for 3 months or so, or until something good happens, or I don't know. I don't want to be called up on it and be like, oh man, you said you're gonna boycott it and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, you got me.
I do people like that.
I'm gonna hate it if Reigns gonna beat Lesnar at WrestleMania and take the title away from him.
I hope that doesn't happen because everybody can see it coming.
Ugh, God, exactly. We all know where it's going, and it's gonna be the hooker that gave you herpes routine. It's
You
just
knew it was gonna happen.
oh yeah, you
and
know.
then came back to you and you're like, oh, what am I gonna do with this baby?
Yeah, you should have put that condom on. It's just like, ugh.
Oh,
You knew
man.
what you were getting into, and you still.
months ahead.
Ugh, God, Valtrax for the rest of your life.
You know, SummerSlam looked like it was the beginning of the dethroning of Cena. So, you know, it looks like they're going to start grooming Roman to take that spot anyway. But as for tonight, that eulogy thing, you know.
That was a cool pick of Dean.
You're trying to spotlight Seth Rollins and keep him relevant while Dean Ambrose is out filming a movie, right? And you see, tonight it just felt rushed because they completely forgot, you know, hey, we're supposed to be building towards a Roman Reigns Triple H match. Well, they've completely taken the focus off of Roman Reigns and Triple H. Now it's just against Orton, against, you know, Rollins, against Kane.
The Authority in general.
Yeah, without Triple H. And it really gets me wondering, you know, what exactly does WWE have for Roman Reigns now? Because it really does play a factor now that Dean Ambrose is out filming this movie and he's going to be out for a couple weeks and everything.
I'm thinking like WWE called it audible on the whole Reigns versus Triple H thing.
And, well, I want it too. I think that's what, you know, Reigns needs right now, at least to get over as, you know, as at least to make him look like, you know, he can take Cena's spot. That's what he needs. If you want to start building this guy towards the top, that's what you do. But going back to Cooter's point, where, you know, I think you were talking about how, you know, it seems like Dean Ambrose has been getting, you know, the short end of the stick and everything, and how Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I believe Dean should have won that match at SummerSlam if they were going to write him off TV like they did the next night on Raw.
I completely agree. And the thing, though, is they knew that once they broke up the Shield, they knew that all the focus was going to be on Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins because of how well they can work in the ring, because how well Dean Ambrose is on the mic. They knew they had to make Roman Reigns a star somehow and not make him look like the forgotten one of the Shield. So that's why I can see why they put him in this sort of position. But, you know, like you said, I don't think he's quite there yet. I think, you know, they're pulling the trigger on him a little too early. You know, they're not at the shooting range yet is basically what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I like that metaphor, shooting range.
I don't think that he's quite there yet. And yeah, because he's The Rock's cousin, he's going to get this special treatment, just like we were talking about Sheamus being Triple H's workout buddy. That's why he's getting this treatment and everything. You know, I don't really quite get it. I mean, I don't know why, you know, you have to feel like you have to push Roman Reigns down our throats and make him look like this quite dominant figure. I mean, look at the guy. He's just huge. He's not too hard to miss. So, you know, it looks like they are going to start pushing this Rollins and Reigns program, which I don't mind, but like I've been trying to, like, my main point coming across is I think
you still want the Ambrose. I'm sorry about that. The Ambrose and Rollins feud resolved.
What's that?
You still want the Ambrose and Rollins feud resolved before moving on to something like this.
See, I don't think it's resolved yet, though. I think right now it's just kind of on hiatus.
Right.
Because Dean Ambrose still wants to get his hands. He still wants to get that win on Seth Rollins, and I still think that they're grooming Dean Ambrose to fight Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania or something like that. You know, kind of give both those guys a spotlight at WrestleMania 31.
Oh, shut up and take my money, Ambrose and Wyatt.
That's what I think. I think they're trying to groom Dean Ambrose to kind of fight Bray Wyatt. Keep him looking relevant because I think that's what they need to do with Chris Jericho going out, I believe, at the end of the month or something like that. He's leaving again to go on tour. So, you know, you got to keep Bray Wyatt looking, you know, vulnerable. You got to make him look, you know, relevant somehow, and I think that's the way to do it, is to make him look like a threat to Dean Ambrose. And imagine the promos between the two. Oh, my God. That'd be crazy.
Classic Mike's.
Ambrose and Rollins are gonna they're going to continue their feud like after Night of Champions, because I think, oh man, I hate saying this, Reigns is gonna beat Rollins at Night of Champions clean, and then he's going to move on to Triple H, and on the side, Ambrose is going to return, and then they're going to continue their feud. But I hope that at WrestleMania it's going to be the Shield triple threat. I don't want to see Reigns in the main event. I want it to be the Shield triple threat. It's a good enough match. It's a big match. Have Reigns go over. I don't care, but just don't put him in the main event.
He's not ready for that. Definitely not. He needs like 2 years of exposure.
Not alone.
They don't take their time building guys the way they used to. They rush the shit out of it. Guys get pushed to the top so
this time
fast.
It was necessary, though.
Well, compared to Lesnar, Reigns has been built slow. If you look at his rookie year and Brock's rookie year.
No. I'm talking about him breaking out of the Shield. He went from being in this dominant group of the Shield to all of a sudden getting thrown into a main event picture. I mean, and then look at somebody like Bray Wyatt. He's another one. He comes in, he goes over a couple of big names, and now he's basically headlining with one of the bigger guys on the fucking roster, if not the biggest guy in John Cena at WrestleMania. Another guy thrown into the fucking main event picture out of nowhere. I mean, he deserved it, don't get me wrong, but he's one of the few who did deserve it.
And Reigns is not Lesnar, where he won the title in his first 3 months.
That's what I'm saying.
And because Lesnar was and will always be like this huge monster. Reigns is big, don't get me wrong, but so is half of the roster. You know what makes him so special, and he's not. He's not even like Hogan, where he had charisma. Like 3 weeks into his debut, he won the title. I know there was some shenanigans, but still, they gave him the ball. And he carried it. Yeah, and Reigns doesn't have half that charisma. So, man, I say, write him off TV. Let him get some acting lessons and stuff like that. Even Miz got better. Miz at least he got better. Remember like when he was the host of SmackDown, and then everybody was just shitting on him, and rightfully so, because he was really shitty on the mic. And then he took this hiatus and came back and was actually better. So I say do that with Reigns. Take him off TV for like 3 months or 4 months. Bring him back around Royal Rumble or later on if you don't want him to miss WrestleMania. And, bring him back with a different look. Not the frickin' vest. Give him some new music. Break him off of the Shield. If he's going to, be the star that broke away from the Shield, then repackage him and give him something different. Don't let him come out with the same music. Just let it be completely different.
Yeah, just keep a shirt on him. Did you see him when they ripped the fucking vest off him that one week? Oh my god!
He looked like a melting candle.
Oh, it was terrible. It's like, dude, do some fucking sit-ups or something, huh?
Yeah. Remember? Yeah, it was in Payback, right? When they ripped the vest and started, hitting.
No, I think it was live on Raw. Believe it or not.
No, they did it then, and then they did it when Rollins turned on him.
Oh yeah, I think okay now I remember.
What the hell was that? I was like, what the hell?
He kept hiding his stomach, and I was like, dude, why is he hiding it? And then I saw how flabby he was.
Holy shit!
Way worse than Tommy Dreamer.
Like when he debuted.
He looked like Brock. He looked like Brock because Brock is flabby, but Brock is 265 pounds.
And he had surgery, so he's got an excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had the gastric bypass stuff and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but Reigns looks like Tommy Dreamer.
Whoa.
Easy on my boy Tommy
Dreamer.
Dreamer.
I wouldn't go that far.
Easy on Tommy.
Don't be going there.
Yeah, Tommy's a good man. You can't talk about Tommy Dreamer that way. That's just terrible.
Oh, fuck Dreamer. Fuck him.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah.
House of Hardcore is in my hometown. Just saying. That's all.
All right.
Oh god.
We talked about the eulogy of Dean Ambrose. Everyone got their thoughts on that, right?
Yeah.
All right. We don't have to talk about the fucking handicap match then.
Amen.
About that. Roman Reigns winning by disqualification.
It wasn't a match. It was a segment, I'd call it.
It wasn't even a match. It was just a cluster.
Something about cinder blocks. I don't know what the hell creative team's obsession with cinder blocks is over the last few weeks, but for some reason Rollins likes putting people's heads through cinder blocks, so maybe they're gonna put that next.
A little more edge to the character.
Anyway, let's talk about the tag team title match. Usos defending against Goldust and Cody Rhodes. I refuse to call him that other name.
I haven't seen Cody in weeks.
Well,
What was the other name? I forget.
I don't want to say it. I really prefer not to say it.
Okay.
It rhymes with far burst.
Are you talking about Stardust?
Yeah.
That's my dude, bro. I love that.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm so being sarcastic.
But you could be praising this.
No, let's be honest.
Double heel turn.
Worst.
This is when I'm gonna get angry PTE because this is just shit.
I don't know, guys. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I kind of like the double heel turn.
I really and you know what? As soon as Rhodes turned into Stardust, I was saying like this dude can be a good heel, as that. And you know what? Sure enough, he did. And you know what? Him and Goldust, I think they would make a great heel tag team.
You know what sucks though? I feel bad for Cody is because like he had a great set of moves as Cody.
He had all the tools.
Yeah, and now they're totally repackaging him, and not only that, they're changing his moveset to make it more like Goldust, and it's just not his style.
I actually like it because it shows that he could be diverse even when he's a different character.
I'm not saying it doesn't suit him though. He can do it, but he just looks terrible doing it. It's like I could take a shit in the woods, but at the same time I'm still wiping my ass with leaves. It's terrible.
But that's the idea, to make you not used to him. You'd be like, that's not right.
That's just Cody in the Stardust outfit. That's just Cody doing the same moves. No, that's Stardust doing some Stardust moves.
I don't know. Doesn't work for me.
Either way, with Cody, I respect the hell out of him because because you were talking about how Ryder was given like a shitty gimmick and made it work. Yeah, Rhodes, he had the dashing gimmick, which on anybody else it would be horrible, but he made it work. And the undashing with the mask and
Oh,
stuff
that
like
was
that.
The
great.
Doctor Doom impressions.
Phantom of the Opera remind me of that. Man, it was so awesome.
It's the Michael Jackson mask, yeah.
And you know, with the
Mustache.
brown bags and stuff like that. I like that, but you know, with the Stardust thing, I was willing to give it a chance, and I'm glad that I did because he's completely different. I love the theme. The music is fucking kick-ass. I love hearing it all the time.
Same fucking song I've been hearing since '97
awesome.
practically.
It's fucking awesome. I don't care. I'd rock that shit all night long.
Fuck you! I'm gonna play Kali's theme just for you.
Thank you. I like it. And you know what? I'm willing to give it a chance. Again, with the heel turn, I'm glad that he turned heel, made it fresh again, because you know you guys didn't like it. I'm sure there are a lot of people that didn't as well.
Like it.
Yeah, so you know, here's hoping for the best.
And even the Usos turned heel a little bit because you had Jay taking his time getting back to the ring.
Right.
Like he
I
got
was thinking that the Usos were going to turn heel. Because Jay kept saying that Jimmy hurt his leg, and he was like, "No, we're not gonna wrestle right now." Yeah.
Here's an interesting question for you guys, because the Usos are getting the shit boot out of them everywhere they go. People are just tired of them.
I'm tired of them. I don't want to see them.
Yeah, people they're carrying the belts too long, and it's a shame because they're good.
Yes.
Does Cody and Goldust turning heel, is that enough to make the crowd cheer for them again, or are we just looking at another, you know, heel's gonna get booed while
Smarks just being Smarks.
Yeah. I don't know. I still don't think it's enough because it's going to be the whole match, both teams getting booed. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, they're just both heels basically now.
And it's sad because the Usos, they don't work as heels. You know, the crowd gets behind that whole Uso chant, but then when they're not doing that, it's boo.
And plus, when they're heels, I don't think that they'd fly as much.
Yeah, I think they were heels when they debuted in the WWE.
But they lost steam because when they kept on losing to the Hart Foundation or Hart Dynasty or whatever, they lost a lot of steam and people just didn't care anymore. You know, that was the problem. But if you're gonna give them like good wins and kick-ass matches like they did with the Wyatt family, I think that they'd get over with that.
Is anybody else noticing that Perry left his own fucking show?
Yes, I noticed. I think he's having some mic trouble.
Yeah, it has mic troubles.
Oh, see, I've been drinking too much. Oh, there he is.
He's back.
You back? Perry.
Yo.
Perry's mic is still off.
All right, well, let's keep it rolling then. What happens after the Goldust match in the Usos?
Oh, we had the video package.
Yeah.
Which video package? Is that
With
the
Lesnar.
Yes, listen.
Would they replay that? I missed that.
Oh no, I think this was the first time.
No, first time. Oh, you're right. My fault. What are we thinking about Brock? Because I think we talked about this earlier. He's better taped, obviously, than he is live.
Yes. I
Is this
remember
one
back SmackDown days where he could just do like a backstage segment and no problem.
What happens? Because, you know, he used to run promos for UFC all the time before his fights, and he'd do his post-fight interviews. He has no problem. What are you guys thinking about him not being able to talk since being back? Is he just not interested? It's like, you're not paying me enough to talk?
Or he's just so dedicated to this character of him just being a Neanderthal.
I just think it's one of two ways. Either that he just doesn't care. It's just like not a subject that he wants to talk about. In UFC, he was motivated because he was too busy trying to make himself legit. You know, trying to prove to everybody that, yeah, I'm not just a wrestler, you know. And the other thing is maybe he's actually intentionally trying to be bad, because remember that 20-minute segment that he had with John Laurinaitis?
Horrible.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was one of my favorites.
Wait, let me tell you something. This guy said Exhibit A, Article 4. Looking at his contract, he said Exhibit A, Article 4.
I love it.
So
I love bad Brock
I think
Lesnar
he's
promos.
intentionally trying to be bad because he want to keep Heyman around. Because
Heyman wasn't even in the picture at that point.
He wasn't in the picture, but in the Heyman DVD.
Yeah, Heyman tried. They tried to get Heyman. That's what they said.
They were trying to get Heyman in, but Heyman said no. Then Lesnar came out and did the horrible segment, and then Heyman was like, "You need me. You need me as your manager."
They went to Vince.
Somebody had told me. Somebody had basically told me that the story went that after one of those promos that he went backstage and either said to Vince or he said to Triple H. He basically said, "I need my Jew," and I think that was the.
Yeah, that was Vince. Vince was in Gorilla after the.
Yeah, because I need my Jew, and you know what? You can love him, you can hate him. He is the best talker that they've had, manager-wise. Probably in the last 10, 15 years.
Even as a performer, I think even that. Yeah.
Yeah, I say Paul's the man on the mic. He's the magician. He can make a bad segment into gold.
And I don't think that he's the best manager of all time.
I didn't say that.
I think he's one of the best.
He's the best talking manager.
Because a lot of people say, he's the best manager of all time. I don't agree with that.
Well,
there's a lot of greats out there. You got to keep in mind guys like Bobby the Brain Heenan. Captain Lou is another classic example. If you want to go way back,
Captain Lou is my favorite, and you know what? Captain Lou, I think, was either Captain Lou or Freddie Blassie. I think are the best.
Oh yeah,
another Freddie Blassie, or the Imperial. There's the Grand Imperial Wizard, the Grand Wizard.
Yes,
the Grand
Wizard. Yep.
The Grand Wizard. There is another great one.
And the reason why I say they're the best, not Bobby Heenan, is because Bobby Heenan and Paul Heyman are kind of the same. They steal the heat away from their wrestlers to the point that they're the stars.
But look at the guys that Bobby Heenan was managing back in those days. Those are guys.
They had heat.
We're talking about some of his undercard guys like Meng and the Barbarian, guys like Andre who couldn't talk worth a shit anyway.
Sure, I agree with that. But at the same time, I think that he was a bigger star than those guys because, who had more heat? Andre or Iron Sheik?
Come on, you're comparing apples and oranges. Iron Sheik is always going to get the most heat back in those days.
All right. Okay. Another person.
If you would say him or Piper, now we're talking different.
Okay. How about this? Adrian Adonis or Big John Studd?
I'd be forgetting about Adrian from time to time.
Yeah, that's true. That's a tough one. All right.
So Heenan was managing Big John Studd, and I think who's managing Adrian Adonis? Was it Piper?
Oh, I think it was Piper. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Even Piper was a better manager because with Heenan he was a better performer, not a better manager. Because people wanted to see him get his ass whooped, not see his client get his ass whooped.
Everybody wanted to see somebody punch, but see, you got to remember, they took guys away from Heenan who started with him. Guys like, all right, classic example, they brought in Mr. Perfect, right? And Mr. Perfect needed a manager, and they gave him Heenan, but he can talk. He didn't need a Bobby the Brain Heenan. So what did they do? They go out and they went and they got him the coach.
Right.
So I mean, some guys just need a manager, but they don't need one that can carry the burden.
Yeah, another great manager, J.J. Dillon.
Oh, yeah, of course. 4 Horsemen.
Yes.
J.J. Dillon was even a better manager because he didn't steal the heat. He actually made those guys. He was like, "Yep, these are the guys. Don't put the spotlight on me. Put the spotlight on my guys." When Heenan was like, "Oh, it's all on me." And you know what? Don't get me wrong. He was by far the best manager, mic skill wise. And but as far as an overall manager, I'd give it to Lassie or Grand Wizard of Wrestling or even Jimmy Hart was a great manager.
Yeah. Yes.
Man, remember the fucking megaphone? That used to piss the hell out of me.
Oh God, I remember. What was it? I'm gonna bring it back. SummerSlam 1991.
Ooh.
Okay, that was the first pay-per-view I ever ordered personally. It's not the first one I ever saw. The first one I ever ordered personally. He was a manager in God knows how many of those matches. A few of them. The Mountie. He was the manager for the Natural Disasters. That match against the Bushwhackers. There was one more, but it's just like 3 times a night. You don't see that anymore. You don't see too many guys having stables anymore. And being a manager and coming out multiple times. I mean,
Heyman was starting to come out on more than one occasion when he had Brock and Punk.
WrestleMania 29. Yep.
Okay, so
I love that. Yeah.
Hey guys, my bad.
There he is.
Sir, you're back. Welcome back to your podcast, sir.
I don't know what the hell happened. My shit just went completely out. Thank you guys for continuing.
It's okay.
We were trying to stall.
Oh, I'm sure you guys did a great job.
We did the intermission.
Yeah, we were brought up the Grand Imperial Wizard of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I didn't hear
missing a
anything
lot.
that was going on, so I have no idea what you guys were talking about. What was that?
We segued
Managers of
from
wrestling.
Heyman to some of the greatest managers of all time.
Oh, some of the greatest managers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Heyman, Bear, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes, sir.
Brother Love. Oh, man.
JJ
Captain
Dillon.
Virgil.
Fuck Virgil. Vic. Fuck.
Don't be a Virgil hater now.
I'm not.
a Virgil hater.
You guys
Hillbilly
remember?
Jim.
You guys remember Brother Love?
Yeah,
course.
Brother Love. Undertaker.
AKA Bruce Pritchard.
Yes. All right, listen, gentlemen, I hate to be the party pooper, but here in New York, 1:15 in the morning, Big Daddy Cooter's got to go to sleep, got to work in the morning. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Good night.
Good night, brother.
Good
Always
night.
happy to have you here. You want to plug anything before you head out?
Like I said, you can see me on Thursday, marked up. The link is facebook.com/markedupforlife. Again, you can follow my friends. Another wrestling podcast coming out this Thursday. We have Deborah McMichael. And next week, Ken Shamrock.
I already submitted my question, so can't wait to hear what he's got to say.
All right, brother. You guys have a good night. Thanks for having me.
All right, you
too,
too.
bro.
No problem having you. You're always
Bye.
welcome. You too.
Okay,
All right,
we'll
now is
have
the
this,
Angry Cooter.
video
And then-
package.
That's right. All right, so what were we talking about before my internet shit out, or did you guys continue?
Yeah, we continue on to the Heyman and Lesnar video package for Night of Champions.
Oh, did you guys already talked about the start of Cody Rhodes? I didn't say that.
Yes, we already talked.
All right. Just to kind of throw my little 2 cents in there. I didn't, I thought it was cool. I mean, that's about it. I mean, I'm sure I'll make a full-length video on that later, so
Yeah.
I'm not too quite fond of that.
Think of it like they're both heels now, but the Usos are more of the chicken shit heels.
I didn't even know if they were heels. I thought seriously, like they just,
Because if you look at it in a different way, you can see Jay just taking his time getting back into the ring, even with an injury.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was really a double turn because I just kind of saw Cody and Goldust just beat him down, and then Cole's like, "Oh, come on," and he's playing up the the Dusts being heels. So I'm assuming that's kind of the direction they're gonna go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
That can-
better. I think it's better than the Usos turning heel.
I
Yeah,
don't think
possibly WWE's just gonna cover up it and just make it just one turn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think they could turn the Usos heels. I think they're too over as faces to do that. Same thing with Sheamus. They've been rumoring it for so long, and I think,
Right.
I mean, Sheamus is kind of a bad example because Sheamus lost a lot of steam, especially becoming U.S. champion. But
No, after the night after, no, during WrestleMania 28, that's when everything just went downhill for Sheamus.
Hmm.
well, yeah, it was when he beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds. That's when the
How
entire
ironic.
IWC just beat.
How ironic!
should-
You win a champion in that championship, and that kills your momentum.
Yeah, true. That's very well. He won the Rumble, so that's kind of that's all I got. I mean, I can't really defend him too much, but
Yeah, some great matches that year, but it was
Sheamus can revive his career if he gets like stiff matches against guys like Cesaro and Barrett and Swagger and all these guys that can work stiff. I think he's going to regain like a lot of popularity. But if they're going to continue him squashing guys, a lot more people are going to hate him.
I remember people
I
were
wouldn't
mad when he
necessarily say-
squashed Titus.
I wouldn't necessarily say he squashed Randy Orton a couple weeks ago, but
He was squashed by Randy Orton.
that was just to make Randy Orton look credible going in SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Because I believe
But-
Randy was on a losing streak before that match.
yeah.
Really?
No, he beat Jericho. My bad. He beat Jericho on SmackDown a couple weeks before that.
Getting back to the point
Everybody
that
beats
you
Jericho.
guys, getting back to the point that you guys were starting the Heyman and Lesnar thing.
Mhm.
Yes.
I liked it. I mean, I think that was really what fulfilled, kind of the storyline of the night, because Cena really didn't play up what I thought he was going to. I seriously thought he could have went out there and said, "Oh, I got beat up. I got
Yeah, I think the Legends did more harm than good tonight.
I think they took more of the spotlight from Cena than Cena should have got. And here, I don't think Cena should have even interrupted the intro to that. I think it just should have ended. It's like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the panel, and then they hype up Raw, and that's when Cena comes out. Or hell, save the Cena thing for the Bray Wyatt, match at the end. But I really did enjoy the promo from Cena from Brock and Heyman. I think it really fulfilled them, not being there, because of course, if Brock isn't going to be there, Heyman probably won't. So, we kind of lose out there. But
I just want another segment with Cena and Heyman just trading back and forth again. That was great.
I have a feeling that we're going to have a contract signing in the future, so that's probably when you're going to see the next time they're both in the ring together.
Oh, please, Brock, don't say anything
Go
stupid.
home show, yeah. It's gonna be on the go
Say
home show.
something
probably.
stupid.
But yeah, the vignette was actually better than the one leading up to SummerSlam.
Yeah,
my
because
opinion.
they were like chronically everybody Brock destroyed.
Only
But
reason I would say yes is because they seriously played that video promo every single minute of every goddamn show.
Yes, that was plugged more than the WWE Network tonight.
Which
But
is $9.99, by the way.
but one thing though that I didn't like about the vignette is every fucking time, whenever they talk about Cena, they gotta show him as a kid, with the paper championship and stuff
Yeah,
like
that
that.
gave me thoughts in my head like, maybe Cena might win.
It could.
I'll be like,
16
why
German
would they go this
suplexes,
far?
16 time champion.
No,
there's a
just
connection.
thinking, like, why would they go this far back to his childhood for this purpose? What's the purpose behind this?
And why
guys-
And
you
why
guys
16 German suplexes? Maybe
Yeah,
16. Title reign is coming soon.
Tupac is alive in the Caribbean.
I saw
You
Elvis
guys-
last night.
You guys don't think, though, that they just put the title on Brock just to give it back to Cena and give him
No,
a 16?
no, absolutely not.
I hope not. But with
Because-
WWE, I wouldn't put anything above them. They just
They could easily have done that.
they could do that. They could do that. I hope not,
And-
but they could.
And then go with the awaited John Cena Roman Reigns passing the torch at WrestleMania 31.
Oh boy.
Either way, I can see Roman Reigns fighting for the belt at 31. But as for the vignette tonight, I enjoyed it. I mean,
Same
like I
here.
said, I think it makes up for them for, Heyman and Brock not being there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of did.
Agreed.
You know,
I needed a few more Heyman lines, though.
WWE's going to have to do a lot better with their editing. Well, not really editing, but they're going to have to do a lot better with this feud because of the fact that they kind of have a part-time champion. They're going to have a part-time champion until WrestleMania, so they got to do something in order to make Lesnar look like a viable champion, and I think that's what they're trying to do with these
Yeah,
vignettes.
that's my only knock with Lesnar right now. I like fighting champions. That's just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now is actually where you have to start relying on guys like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins to give you quality main events to pay-per-views because Brock is not going to be there every show.
I know that expectations are way higher than they once were. Back then when, the champion would defend the title maybe once or twice a year. But nowadays, there are pay-per-views every single month, so you need to have a fighting champion. But it's kind of different now because you got to build up a contender for Lesnar to make it important. And second of all, you can have guys that not usually main event shows, but they can main event the throwaway shows. Like you can have Ambrose versus Rollins at Hell in a Cell as the main event. I think that would do well. That you can have like a TLC, Bray Wyatt versus I don't know, anybody like
Reigns.
Wade Barrett or Cesaro or Roman Reigns as as the main event, and still would do well. You don't need Lesnar in every single pay-per-view, not every single throwaway pay-per-view. Just put him in the important shows like Night of Champions, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. Yep, WrestleMania. Yeah, you don't need to put him in the throwaway shows.
But here's what I'm thinking is actually what WWE's kind of putting themselves in a corner, at least right now, I think, because now that I'm kind of looking forward as to, what's the card going to be looking like for WrestleMania and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure what they're going to have Brock do at the Rumble.
Daniel Bryan.
I hope not. I really fucking hope not. I hope if he does, he beats the shit out.
If Daniel Bryan
hope
returns, I'm
Yeah,
really,
Daniel
really sure
Bryan.
it's going to be that match. But if not, then I hope that it's going to be. And I know this might sound weird, but I really want to see him versus Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble.
Did you
At the
repeat that? I
Rumble?
couldn't hear you, man.
Cause you know why?
No, I couldn't hear you for real.
I want Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble. Cause you know why?
You don't want to see it at WrestleMania.
No, not at WrestleMania. Have the Shield at WrestleMania, but you can have Lesnar beat Reigns, but Reigns have a good showing in that match. And after the match, Lesnar would take him out because at WrestleMania it would be Lesnar versus Rock, and that would play off because Reigns is related to Rock, so that could work.
All I
Vince
think
would
is
get
if
his voice.
WWE is serious about doing Lesnar and Reigns for the belt at
I hope
WrestleMania, they better stand by it because remember they said, oh yeah, it's going to be Orton versus Batista, and they didn't fucking say until like the last 2 or 3 weeks because they knew everyone was going to fucking walk out on the goddamn pay-per-view. So they're like,
Exactly.
oh, let's put Daniel Bryan in the match so that people have to watch him. Oh, look what freaking happened.
Yeah.
Because no
Well,
one wanted to
here's-
see Blue Tista versus Randy Orton.
Here's what they can do, though. They can have Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns in the TLC. And leading up to it, if fans are starting to hate on Roman Reigns, that's when you give the number one contendership to Bray Wyatt. But if the fans are behind Reigns, then you give him the shot.
You guys
know?
think that they could try and potentially... I mean, I know we're getting really off topic, at least right here. Do you guys think that they could be grooming Roman Reigns for, like, a possible heel run?
They could. But
I don't
not yet.
see it just yet. Not in the near future.
2
Oh,
years,
not in the
probably.
future at all.
Like, I
Probably
see
in 2
them-
years or 3.
But are they building him up too much as a babyface, is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm worried about Ambrose because
Mhm.
I know Ambrose can be a great great heel.
Mm-hmm.
But how he's such a good babyface right now, how are we ever going to turn him into this dominant heel?
Well, they could turn him into like a cold, calculating heel,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like Randy Orton, but not Randy Orton.
Oh,
Kind of
I-
like Batista, I think, where he's like, I think with WWE they're gonna make him like Batista back in 2010 with the spotlight and oh look at me and stuff like that,
I actually like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't really fit Ambrose's gimmick, I don't think.
I don't know, I see that.
Like that actually sounds more so Seth Rollins than
Yeah, Rollins.
Dean Ambrose.
Well, come on, Titty Master, come on,
TM
come
Punk.
on.
TM Punk. TM Punk.
TM Punk.
Yeah.
T Master Punk.
All
I
right,
see
let's,
that with Ambrose, and I see that with Reigns as well. Reigns could be that guy,
I've said this on Twitter and I'll say it on YouTube too. I want to be a fan of Roman Reigns. I
Same
do.
here. He's a guilty displeasure for me because everybody likes him, but I hate
Everybody's
him.
a guilty displeasure to you. Even Marie is a freaking guilty displeasure to you.
No. I'm talking about casual fans, not talking about internet fans. Casual
Okay.
fans love Roman Reigns. So
That's because
it's
WWE
just
wants you to believe that, but
yeah. So if like one or like five smart marks are like in the crowd, are like, oh boo,
It's
we
not
hate
like
Roman
I
Reigns.
don't like him. I critique him because I care about him.
Yeah. I used to care about Reigns, but I never to the point that I was like, yeah, this guy should be a main eventer. No, never.
like I'm like every other guy. I mark out for the Superman punch. I mark out for the spear. I know how freaking casual those are for big guys and everything. I still mark out for it.
Me too.
Yeah. But
'Cause
he's horrible at building towards those moves.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell, look at what he did tonight. He was getting ready to. He did the howl and everything.
Mm.
But
He doesn't know how to build to them. Like with Goldberg, like again, I hate going back to Goldberg. But
I hate
with
when-
you're
Goldberg,
only doing that 'cause
But
he's
continue.
out of the call now.
yeah, but here's the thing: with Goldberg, he knew how to build to those moves. You saw the demeanor, you knew that it was coming, but he would tease it, and then he would go for it. But with Reigns, it's like out of nowhere he goes, "Yep, I'm gonna do it right now." It's like, where's the build-up towards it? At least with Goldberg, he had he did a few moves leading up to it. But with Reigns, it's like clothesline, 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 and then Superman punch, and let's do it. He's like
it's
Cena.
5 moves set up.
Yeah, it's like Cena does like the shoulder, 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 then back body drop, five
But
knuckle
everybody
shuffle.
has a 5 move set up, even Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Everybody did, but they knew how to build up towards it. Bret Hart did the kick to the groin. He teased like doing the sharpshooter, but he would kick the guy in the groin, and then build up. He would tease it.
Russian
So
leg
once he
sweep.
does it, fans would pop.
I hate to interrupt this and everything. I'm sure that we could make a complete other video on this. But this is
Oh yeah,
still a raw
let's get
review,
back to
so.
topic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know we picked the wrong time to do this because our good friend here left, had to
Yeah.
leave. Cooter had to leave, and he didn't get to talk about the Bella twins
Mm.
and
Man, the
their
highlight of this
what was it, like
episode,
confessional
Jerry
or
Lawler
some stuff
fucking-
like that? Was it confessional or something like that?
I wanted to
I'm gonna
like
leave
this
this-
segment.
I'm
I
gonna
really
leave this
wanted
segment.
to.
I'm gonna leave this segment to you guys to review because I did not see it, so I'm gonna listen to hear what you guys had to say about it.
Okay, my favorite Nikki, people did not like this segment online.
Mm.
I've heard that.
I don't think they understood what was happening. That's just my take on it because Nikki's a terrible actor, but she played her role well here.
She can't be
But
worse
Brie
than her
was
sister.
Brie was the same old crybaby baby face.
She can't be worse than her sister when it comes to
Ooh.
acting, though.
I
Like,
wanted
really?
to like this
See that,
segment,
man?
dude. Like, guys, I really wanted to, but the thing is, for every time Nikki does something good,
Brie's gonna do 10 things bad.
oh yeah, like Nikki would try to say something serious, and you can tell she's trying, and I gotta give her some props for that,
Yeah,
because
commend her.
she was trying. But with that voice, it's just like I hate when she does this. Um, you know what? I hated you ever since we were kids, and you know what? You always were trying to hold me down, and
So
you
that
know
was my
what?
favorite line tonight. You weren't holding my hand in the wound. You were holding me back.
Yeah. And it's just and Nikki was trying her best, and there were some moments here where I was like, you know what, I hate using her words, and you know what, that Nikki is like, she she turned from becoming like the most uninteresting diva that I've ever seen on the roster
One of the
to
best diva heels in a while.
exactly like I'd put her on par, not on par, but like two steps below Stephanie, because Stephanie has moments where she's annoying. Same with
Yes.
Nikki.
Or a horrible actor.
Right, and Nikki, she had some great spots here, like great moments here where she slapped Jerry Lawler. I love
That was
that moment.
retaliation for him dry humping her.
Right. And like even before that, she was like, "Get the hell out of here, old man!" And the fans were like, "Ooh!" And when you get the fans to go "ooh" during a diva segment, and actually, whenever Nikki talked, the fans weren't trolling, they weren't chanting CM Punk, they weren't chanting yes, yes, yes or what during like whenever she finishes a sentence. So that goes to show you that the fans are actually into the segment, are into the storyline, and are into Nikki. But whenever Brie was talking, dude,
Yes.
Brie was
Yes.
like,
Yes.
yeah, she was horrible. I don't think that she should be the face. And I don't know if you guys know this, but do you know what Brie mode means?
No.
Then when she gets drunk,
I thought it
When
was
she's
like
drunk, when
or
she's
something
completely
like that.
drunk, yeah, that's Brie mode. So,
so they're
uh,
promoting her to get drunk.
I don't know, maybe. But you know what? Another part of this segment that I really liked Nikki for is when when Brie came out with the same song. She was like, "Oh, you couldn't even get your own entrance music." I I, I was thinking that the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. Like, they broke up. How come they don't have like
Yeah,
different
Nikki was
entrance
shooting a little
music?
bit.
Yeah. So I don't know. Nikki's now probably uh my favorite diva to watch, like even over Paige, you know?
Oh
Mm.
no, she
Paige,
can't be that.
in the ring, Paige, yeah.
Yeah, in the
But
ring.
on the
Okay,
mic,
I understand now.
yeah, but on the mic, Nikki, because it's way better than anytime Paige was on the mic.
I remember Paige forgot her lines a couple weeks back.
Mm. When she did that fucking poem, I hated that.
So you're telling me that this segment was pretty much shit?
It
It
wasn't
was
really shit.
shit.
It was just hard
It
for
was shit
people to
on
understand.
Bree's part, but Nikki
Yeah.
saved it. You know,
So
Nikki definitely
would
saved
you
it.
guys be interested in a match or no?
I'm not
Well,
looking forward to the match. I'm looking
I don't think
forward
so.
to the
I'm
segments.
very cringeworthy about it, so I'm gonna leave it at
All
that.
depends on how they build it up, because I just don't want to see a standard Brie and Nikki match.
Mm. And like you said, Zach, I remember you said about that 2 weeks ago, where maybe they'd bring in their parents and be like, oh, stop fighting and stuff like that, and make it a whole drama about it.
But
I don't know.
Eddie, that reminded me of the time when they had got Jeff and Matt to feud,
Mm.
bringing in the parents. Just
Or
throwing
Brett
that
and
out there.
Owen. I remember Brett and Owen. They did that as well.
I don't think that this feud is really going to. I don't think it's going to overwhelm the Age and PJ feud. I think that this is kind of just going to be the back burner feud, kind of like how Naomi and
Cameron.
yeah, Fuck, I can
Which
forget
is
it.
still unresolved. Thanks, creative.
They forgot it, and honestly, I'm glad they did because
Yeah.
it wasn't worth the goddamn time it was given anyway. So
Don't want to
You just
see
get
any
away
more
with
of
it.
that.
And this, I don't know about you guys, this entire storyline just screams Total Divas.
Yeah,
Me
it
too.
does.
Just
This
screams.
is what I don't like about some of the Diva matches nowadays, because they're letting the E Network control the product in the ring.
The Diva stuff, at least. I mean, I don't
Yes.
really.
I'm kind of glad though because the Divas division hasn't been spotlighted in a long ass time.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
will say they are getting more time for matches now.
And segments. Like nowadays we're seeing like 2 or 3 segments that has to do with the Divas. Like
So
back
would you
then
guys-
we would cry for a match.
So would you guys like yell at me right now to watch this segment or not?
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, just check out the highlights. Just check out what's on WWE YouTube.
You know the big one being, I wish you died in the womb or something like that. Nikki said.
Yes, I'm surprised they let that air.
I
Broke
don't
out in
think
a
it was.
brawl.
I don't think it was that horrible though. It
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, man, whatever. We've heard worse. You
Yeah,
know?
we heard worse, but they're so clean. They're trying to do this clean image. That's why I was surprised.
Oh, come on. What about the Lesnar thing? I'm gonna leave you in your own blood, vomit, and piss.
Lesnar, you gonna tell Lesnar you can't say that? No.
No one is.
All right. So anything else to say about that before we move on to the final part of the night? Unless we missed something.
It was a good segment. It's not one of those that you gotta get out of your way to see, but it's definitely interesting. It reminded me of like Randy Orton and Triple H back in 2009, where the segments were way better than the matches. Like I never was looking forward to the matches. It was just like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And I'm kind of intrigued to what happens next. I'm not intrigued in the match at all.
Right. This is just purely angle.
Yeah, and not Kurt Angle.
Yes, not Kurt Angle. I mean storylines.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the final match of the night. John Cena. I don't know why the fuck my phone's ringing.
Your phone?
My bad. Awesome ringtone, right? You can get that on WWE Network for $9.99.
Oh, sweet.
I'm on it right now.
Probably the best part of the review, at least. But no, we had John Cena versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30 rematch. It wasn't even a match. It was
just
more
to
so
showcase
to
that
show.
Cena has an aggressive side, and you know what?
Exactly.
The fans were pissed because Cena was taking it to Wyatt.
Yeah.
How many Germans did he give to Bray Wyatt that entire match, and that including
I think like
the 6 man?
4.
Yeah,
At
6
least
or
about
7.
7 or 8.
Something
So-
like that. Hmm.
And
Luke Harper
Bray's into
landed
Bray's
one.
credit, he sold well.
Mhm.
Luke Harper landed one, and it looked like he landed on his neck.
Yeah.
Looked horrible, but yeah, you have John Cena, Big Show, and Mark Henry versus the Wyatt family. John Cena and Mark Henry and Big Show and company, they all end Raw on a happy note. So, yeah.
Was it like during the commercial break they announced that it was going to be a tag team match?
On the
Yeah.
WWE app.
You can get that
Was
for
Teddy
free,
Long?
not 90. Holla, holla,
Really
holla.
felt like Teddy Long was there.
Oh, he was probably at home watching it. Is so excited to see a tag team match play.
Yeah.
He called Big Johnny on the phone. Was like, "Playa, make this a 6 man."
You see Vince in gorilla position. You heard Teddy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, like we
it was
said, the
all
match is
right.
used.
It was like seeing like I think Cena could have been a little even more aggressive.
I think what should have happened was as soon as the bell rang, Cena should have low blowed Bray Wyatt and got himself disqualified.
Disqualified. Yes, that would have been
Yeah,
perfect.
got the steel chair and beat the shit out of Bray Wyatt instead of like, having a match and just pretty much squashing him.
Yes,
But
the ICW crybabies would have cried.
Yeah, but
I would be
either
cool with
way,
that. I would laugh.
yeah. But you know what? Either way, I don't care. I don't care about Bray. Whatever you do with him, I don't care. Have him lose to Zack Ryder next week. I don't care.
See, ever since this feud with Jericho, people stopped caring about Bray.
Ever since he lost to Cena at was it Payback?
Payback, yes.
Yeah, ever since he lost that match, I didn't care for him at all.
That was a match of the year candidate, by the way.
Yeah, it was a great match, but I didn't agree with the ending. That was a problem. I mean, I would have given it a 5-star rating if Bray Wyatt won, but that stupid ending, I didn't like it.
Don't worry, Bray's gonna recover from it.
I don't know if he can.
You see all the fireflies that are in his entrance?
But that's the thing, though. It's the trolling era, in my opinion, because the fans will get into whatever is hip or whatever, They're into the entrance. They're not into, like, the Bray Wyatt. I mean, during his promos, people chant what and stuff like that, when 2 years ago, or not even that, 6 months ago, during his promos, people would just be quiet. And you can, like, they would listen to what Bray Wyatt says. But now it's like no one cares anymore about Bray. That's why he has pre-taped segments rather than be doing promos in the ring.
Let me say something, and this is going to cause a lot of controversy. I will say, I believe him losing to John Cena at WrestleMania was more beneficial to his career than him winning against Chris Jericho at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I see that.
Not controversial at all, because I completely agree.
Yeah.
People get pissed at me because, like, oh my God, I hate Cena no matter what. But he's still the top guy, and he's still going to draw people to his matches whether they like him or hate him. You are going to watch a boring, stale Cena match, then Jericho try and see a Jericho technical match.
Against Cena, win, lose, or draw, it's a big match, But with Jericho, it's like everybody beat Jericho. It's not Fandango beat Jericho. So
that's what I was telling these guys last year. Like, what happened to Ryback and Fandango after they beat Jericho?
Yeah, it's like, who cares? And when this feud started, I was like, okay, what's the point of that?
Here comes Chris Jericho.
There you go.
And I respect the hell out of Chris Jericho. I love all his contributions and what he did in his 15-year stint in the WWE.
And I think that he should retire. Not now, but
not like Kane.
No, like next year. Let him lose to Lesnar. Let him go out and have a great match with Lesnar, because not a lot of people care about Jericho anymore. Like, when he returned, a lot of people were just happy. During his entrance, everybody's happy. But when his matches start, no one cares.
Him and Bray, the problem is him and Bray just doesn't have chemistry.
Yeah, and not just that, but even with other people. I noticed that with Jericho. Whenever he wrestles guys that are like his size or bigger, yeah, nobody cares. But when it's like a smaller guy like Rey Mysterio, I remember he had a classic trilogy, or even more than that.
For the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing, like back in 2009. And he had matches with Evan Bourne. He had matches with Kofi Kingston. All of them were great matches with Shawn Michaels. All of them were great. But whenever he wrestles a guy that is bigger than him, he never has a good match.
Because him and Bray is just so awkward.
Yeah. So, I think, Jericho should just have his last match against Lesnar, and let Lesnar retire Jericho, thus adding another feather in his cap. You know, imagine that Survivor Series next year, have Jericho versus Lesnar, Jericho's last match, All or Nothing for the WWE title. I mean, that'd be a lot of drama.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tears shedding.
Hmm.
I don't think that
So-
would really be the appropriate way to send Jericho off.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't think so.
And plus, it would be the right guy to retire him. You know, who better than Lesnar?
I personally would just like him going out there saying I'm done anyway. I wouldn't really want to add anything else to Lesnar's credentials. Lesnar already has every credential in the free world right now.
Yes.
You know, what
He
is
does,
he?
yeah.
What
But
is he? You know,
but the
retire from
thing
a
is though, that Lesnar is a sure thing. Like if you're gonna put it on Ambrose or Rollins or Reigns or any of the up and coming guys,
Right now,
there's a chance that they would go to TNA or Ring of Honor or anywhere else. But with Lesnar, he would retire right away, so it wouldn't matter. You know?
I don't. All I'm saying is I don't agree with sending Jericho off that way.
Yeah, I'd rather see Jericho just do like a Fozzy concert live on Raw. Be like, thank you guys. This has been a wonderful ride. You guys been here with me since 1999.
I don't agree at all to send him off like that. I think, that would actually be doing a dishonor to him.
I don't
somebody
think
like
so,
that
because
for
the thing
sure.
is, nobody, like, during his matches, there's not drama in it. Like, nobody's invested into it. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to do another job. But if it's against, if it's his last match, there might be a chance that he could win, or there might be moments where, oh, he almost had it, There'd be a lot of drama in that match. So having his last match be like that big in the main event and stuff like that, I think it would be like the best way for him to be sent off, Way better, Imagine Flair did that, like he would just retire out of nowhere, Then his match against Shawn Michaels wouldn't have happened. I mean, would that really, how would you feel about that? If the match between Flair and Shawn Michaels never happened, and you had a thought that was like they could have had that match,
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It's true. But I think with all of Jericho's country, and that I agree. I liked the way that Flair was kind of sent out on top. He got to have his moment with Michaels, one of the best matches at WrestleMania 24.
Even though
And if Edge can have an appreciation night, I think Jericho more than deserves an appreciation night.
If you're gonna send Jericho off, I wouldn't much. I mean, I know the title picture is stacked right now, but I'd see him making one more run for the belt.
He could.
At
And
least
Lesnar is the
one.
perfect guy for Survivor Series. And then, like, leading to WrestleMania 32, he could be inducted to the Hall of Fame because he had a Hall of Fame career.
yes, he has an extraordinary career.
Yeah.
He held every championship available.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone. Yeah.
I
Wasn't
don't
the
want
very
him. I don't want him going out with that Shawn Michaels mentality of, oh, my last match was really my last match. I'm not coming back to wrestle anymore.
But
Yeah,
the thing
Shawn is
he left
dedicated
on his own terms.
to
He would
stipulation.
leave in his own terms, not with an injury, And plus, he's still in the peak of his age. He's one of those guys that get better like with age, and same with Shawn Michaels. But he's not as beat up as Shawn Michaels. He can still, live another 50 years. So yeah.
That's probably all we got to say about Raw. I mean, I think we covered everything that was really important.
Yes, we basically did.
There was a hype thing for SmackDown that Jericho's gonna bring back the highlight reel.
with Randy Orton as his
With Randy
special
Orton.
guest.
So it
Randy
looks
Orton.
like they're gonna do a Randy Orton Jericho feud or something.
Or a Randy
Just
Orton
for a little
Jericho match.
stint.
Hmm. I think
Anyway,
that's gonna be Randy Orton is going to take out Jericho and he's gonna go off on his concert.
But he still has the rubber match with Bray. It's 1-1.
They're gonna forget about that.
Oh,
Sorry
damn.
for all you guys that want to see a rubber match, but that's not gonna happen.
I really don't want to see a rubber match, but I just want Bray to just keep the momentum going.
He can keep the momentum going with somebody else.
I guess that's about all we got for this episode or for this Raw review. If you guys had to rate tonight's show before we head out, what would you rate that?
I'll give it a 7.1.
7.1 for AJ
7.1. I'd give it a 6.
and a 6 from Eddie. I'm gonna probably go 5.5. I've seen a lot better.
Hey, we just trying to outdo each other, okay?
And the question of the day is that is WWE relying too much on the legends?
Under relying too much. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's to you guys, that's to the nation out here. What, do you guys think that WWE is utilizing the legends a little too much?
Or using them a little too poorly in not a good capacity.
And what's the difference between WWE using the legends and TNA using the legends?
Because when TNA does it, it becomes the Hulk Hogan show.
Well, that's going to do it for this review. Do you guys have any, you guys have social media. Plug your social medias.
Yeah, let me plug mine at Facebook/eClick.
All right.
If
Eddie?
you want my personal page, you can follow me at AJ Vinici EVYCE Emery Facebook.
All right. Eddie, you got anything you want to plug?
Thriller Terrain on Twitter, as well as on YouTube, as well as the Variety Vendor.
All right, and you guys are obviously watching this on my YouTube channel, so there's no need to plug it, youtube.com/PerryTheEntertainer. You guys can go follow me on Twitter at the PT Show. We live tweet during Raw, SmackDown, all sorts of live wrestling events. Unless it's TNA, then for some reason we don't watch it anymore. You guys can go join our group, or at least my group page, The Nation. Go plug anything. You guys can talk about anything and any, I kind of already said it. Anything and anything.
Anything
Not
and
just
everything.
wrestling.
It wasn't
You guys can talk about. You guys can talk about NBA, NFL, all sorts of stuff. NFL season starts in about next week? 2 weeks? Next week.
In September.
So
Fuck, you can
guys
talk about
start tweeting
condoms. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you want to, you can talk about condoms.
Well, thank you guys for having me on this podcast. I really enjoyed the discussion.
Yep.
Always a pleasure to trade intellect with fellow wrestling fans who love this business.
Absolutely, dude. It's been fun talking to you.
Yes, thanks for inviting me, Eddie. And thanks for having me, Perry.
Anytime, bro.
Yeah.
We forgot to talk about Damian Sandow as The Miz.